Actually talking about the type of architecture, which was sort of post-war, post-First World War, Mies van der Rohe stuff. Unbelievable. But the whole thing, my husband, when we were watching it, he said, this has to be a true story, but it isn't. It's fiction, isn't it?
No, it is fiction. I mean, it's rooted in lots of different stories, and it is obviously rooted in historical truth in terms of the larger context. But the actual story and the characters we were playing, they are from the imagination of Brady Corbet and Mona Fassvold, who are a husband and wife team who wrote the screenplay. But it's an incredibly ambitious film. That's partly why I liked it when I read it. It felt like it was really pushing boundaries. But it's also coupled with this, there's an emotional intensity to it, and there's a domesticity to it. And somehow the way that it's able to move between that quite seamlessly is what makes it quite special.
We should say that there are some scenes that aren't for kids. It is an 18. It's a very, very powerful movie, and it's been nominated for 9 BAFTAs, and as we said, the Oscar nominations are released tomorrow. When you've completed a body of work like this, and then when you see the recognition that it's received, how does it make you feel?
Well, I mean, as you guys know, you make things, and then sometimes they pop and they work, and people respond, and sometimes you do stuff and no one likes it at all.
I hosted Splash, so I know about that. Yeah.
So so to have something that, we felt there was something special in it when we were making it, and to have it be received in this way, and to have your peers see it and enjoy it. I mean, it's magical.
Can I just ask, as an actor, right? You're doing this in some really powerful scenes in this movie. How do you step yourself aware to prepare for these moments on camera with Adrian Brody? Because it's just a hugely intense moments in this film.
Well, I find actually wearing a wig is really helpful, because when I put that wig on, so I had, in hair and makeup, and I had a particular wig for Erzsébet, the character that I was playing, and somehow I find that just gives me that separation from myself in a way, and you go into playing the character, and I think with this, it was such a meaningful script, and it felt like the stakes were very high because of the nature of the story. So we all were just incredibly prepared going into it, and we knew we were shooting on film. We didn't have a lot of time to make it. It was a struggle to get this film even made. It actually fell apart numerous times before everything came together. I was actually on 2 years before we started shooting it, and finally. When Adrian Brody came on and Guy Pearce came on, we were...
Pearce, can you tell our viewers what Adrian's character is up against, Laszlo, this architect, your partner?
Yes, it's set coming out of the Second World War, and he is fleeing post-war Europe. Adrian's character and my character, we've both been through concentration camps, and it's about their journey coming into America and going into America, and Adrian is a brutalist architect, and it's about how their struggle in that country and trying to build a foundation. They're both two people who've been through extraordinarily traumatic times, and it's them coming to a new country and going, how do I build the foundations to have a good life? And they're both determined to do that, and the film explores the inherent tensions and difficulties of doing that.
Literally and physically building foundations. As we see, we've got some gorgeous, thank you, some gorgeous brutalist architecture from up and down the UK. I know you've said this has reminded you of your experience growing up in Birmingham, some of the architecture that you saw.
Well, I didn't realise. It was only since doing the film that growing up in the Midlands, in Birmingham, there's a ton of brutalist architecture. And I remember going to the British Library, which I think has since been knocked down, actually, rather sadly. And I think the Birmingham Rep as well was apparently is a piece of brutalist architecture. And I didn't realise how much that architecture had informed my youth in many ways.
Beautiful full circle moment.
Yeah, it really is. There's something very honest about brutalist architecture. There's an integrity to it and a simplicity to it. I think partly because of coming out of the Second World War and the struggle of that. these architects wanted to make a very bold and definite statement in amongst that complexity.
That they did, that is reflected beautifully in this film. And The Brutalist is out in cinemas this Friday. Now,